Hey friends, I wanted to walk through a little bit of horse x-ray positioning for you as you are going to go out and do your horse x-rays later this week. Hopefully this will make you feel just slightly more prepared. So here we have our little horse stuffed animal and we have him labeled. This is a big part of any animal's x-rays, right? Is the positioning and the terminology that we use for the positioning. And of course, in the horse limb, we're often taking more than two different views in order to really get a nice square picture of a round image. So we're going to walk through some positioning stuff a little bit later, but I thought that I would walk through a little bit of the equipment with you as well. So first thing we have is our mobile horse unit. This, of course, can be used as a tabletop tube, but it is our mobile unit and it is a little bit heavy. So you definitely are going to get an arm workout when you have to hold this guy. So he plugs in and he has a switch. So it's kind of what I was messing with here. So this is the same two-part switch as your foot pedal. So you'll push down once and then push down completely to actually snap your image when it's time. Now, this is our collimator dial. So just like on a big machine, you will collimate down the light that comes out of your x-ray machine. So generally, once you have the machine plugged in, you have it turned on, you'll have your settings pretty much standardized here. And remember, mobile units have a lot lower KVP than we see with our tabletop units, because I mean, it's a powerful guy, but he's not as powerful as our tabletop unit. So you'll have your settings, and then you can click just the half button here, and that will actually start your light. Okay, now your light, I don't know if you guys can appreciate here, it's a little bit hard to see. There is a crosshair on this, so it will give you that cross beam just like you have on a regular unit. So you can kind of use that cross beam as well as the laser pointer to make sure that you're lined up on the specific part of the horse leg that you're supposed to be x-raying. Okay, now the next thing I wanted to show you is this guy. So that's an x-ray cassette that you're looking at, and he's attached to this long thing on a handle. This is a cassette holder. Okay, so really guys, a cassette holder should be used to place the cassette behind the limb or the area of interest. In some clinics, you will see the cassette holder being used frequently. Sadly, though, I think most clinics do just hold the cassette with their hands. If that is the case, like let's say you work at a horse clinic that does not have a cassette holder like this, and your only option is to hold it with your hand, please wear a glove. That is why the glove is out here for your review as well. Okay, so the tube side of the cassette you can kind of see is labeled. That's the side that needs to be facing the actual x-ray machine. Okay, now real quick, I wanted to give just a little bit of a walkthrough on some of the positioning. This is both helpful for your lab on Friday, but also for Vitney review. Okay, so when we're looking at our horse x-ray orders, we have some weird positioning going on, right? You've probably seen positions kind of similar to this, the DMPLO, and you're like, what does that even mean? Where do I stand? How do I take this x-ray? Now, the first thing to know, if you're given an order like this, is really you just need to determine what are the first two letters and what are the positions that are associated with those first two letters. So in this case, this is obviously dorsal, medial, palmar, lateral, oblique. Okay, and just like with regular x-rays, the image is giving us the direction from where the beam enters and where the beam exits the body. Okay, so in this case, if we were being ordered to take a dorsomedial palmar lateral oblique, what we would need to do to position ourselves is to outline those first two letters. So it's dorsal medial. So I'm going to know where my dorsal is. I'm going to see where my medial is. And then I'm going to position myself with the x-ray machine right at this angle between the two. Because it's an oblique image, that's what we were ordered, we need to be at an angle in order to take this picture. Now, if you go back to your order of positions, you can make the assumption, it really is a fact at this point, that the opposite of dorsal is palmar. So we're entering at the dorsal and exiting at the palmar oblique. And same thing with medial. You guys all know the opposite of medial is your lateral. So again, if we're angled kind of at the angle here, we're going to come out both the palmar and lateral angled side. Okay, so just another reminder that if you see a question or the doctor gives you an order where it has a bunch of letters and an oblique added to it, you just have to focus on those first two. The first two is where you position yourself with the machine. The last two is where you would position the cassette, okay? And in this case, if our x-ray machine tube head is angled at the angle that it's at, we would put our cassette right back here, right, in order to receive that radiation from the x-ray tube. Okay, so I do hope that this video helped outline just a little bit of the positioning involved, the equipment involved, the cassette holder, of course, if you're able to use that, I would try to. And if nothing else, of course, remember, please wear lead on your bare hands if you have to hold the cassette with your bare hands.